All right, bro, check this out. What's up, man? It's good to see you. All
Yeah, good to see you, brother.
right, you want to jump right to it?
Yeah, let's jump in, ladies and gentlemen. This is Writer's Block. Um, and we are not at the same place. That's
No,
yeah,
we're not.
but we are emotionally, and we're glad you're here with us. We are
Locked in, baby.
we're locked in.
Starting a new project, bro.
Yeah.
And we're gonna let everybody know. We'll spoil some stuff, although one of these days you're gonna be able to read this, probably for very cheap, or maybe for very expensive.
Ooh.
But but we're gonna let you in on it because we're in this creative process. You want to learn about collaboration, if you want to learn about if you want to get inside the head of writers while we're crafting something from the ground level up, you
Something
can do that.
pretty fun, unique, and silly, but
Yeah.
but it's
So
gonna
where
be
do you want to
great.
start?
Yeah. Let's start with let's start with the base outlines. We're gonna write this book one time through, which means we're gonna go through it again.
Yep.
But
I'm calling it a zero draft because if you say first draft, it's just almost like it's pressure immediately. So
yeah,
I like to call it a zero draft. In my process, I've written two novels now that I actually feel good about. So like I've written two daggum novels at this
yeah,
point. And the second one, I unlocked it because I wrote 30,000 words really fast, had a blast with it, took all the ideas out for a spin, and I was like, there's definitely something here. Super excited about this. There's all these possibilities. And then what happened was I had too many possibilities. If everything could possibly happen, and I got stuck. And so I said, all right, time out. I went back, did some editing, came back to it, and then I plotted.
yeah.
But I really, and I haven't heard people talk about this very often, but I like starting with just pantsing around and then doing that with your zero draft where there's no pressure. And then you stop and plot when you're like totally stuck or when there's a million possibilities or whatever. So I think that's what we're going to do through the month
That's
of
what we're gonna
November,
do.
right?
There it is, 30 days.
30 days. Well, writing challenge.
Yeah, grand opening, grand closing. Let me close this door real quick.
It's a novel in 1 month.
Yep, one
Only
month.
possible if you're a fiend
Or
or if you got a buddy
yep, or or a fiend, and you got buddies and completely insane.
or both.
We got all of them. Yeah, with our powers combined.
Yeah. So, so that's what we're doing starting tomorrow.
Yeah. So this is us planning the book. So all we have is us joking around about this is where it started. We were joking around about like pontificating about different writing topics and subjects. And I think we were talking about power systems. Is that where we were? And we ended up coming up with the silliest power system that actually Sam came up with something even sillier from that. But
Yes.
we
More on that in just a minute.
more on that in a minute. But we
Yes.
basically came up with this crazy, silly idea that we'll touch on. And we were like, that's so silly. Somebody's got to write it. And we had been joking around about writing something together. And we're like, oh, we're that somebody. We should,
Yes.
let's just write this.
Why not?
Yeah.
And the speed write is really cool too, because we're working on some other projects, but sometimes just like getting words on the page, just throwing them on the pages can be really fun and can loosen you up for other projects. But the it started out with we were talking about Fast and the Furious, and I said we were just talking, and I was like, I view those, and in my mind, I tell myself these are superhero movies. Like and I think they kind of almost intend that, but I'm like, look, these are superhero movies. And then we were going down the list of like what everyone's superpowers were, and Vin Diesel's is his lats, his back, like his muscles basically, but just on his back are invincible essentially. So like he takes no damage. So like I'm thinking of it's seven or something where he jumps across a highway median and land because he lands on a car windshield, he's fine. And no one questions this. And I'm like, you're so dead. Like the
Yeah.
other cars are going like 60 miles an hour. He jumps across, but because he turns on his back, I think he catches someone or something because
Of
he turns his
course.
back. You're like, I mean, his back hit the windshield, he's fine.
Destroyed everything. And then he's petting her, being like, you okay?
You okay?
You're
Um,
not okay.
I'm like, but he is because if he takes damage on his back, it doesn't hurt him at all. So his
Right.
lats are invincible. And then Paul Walker's, and we actually have a joke in our house where we say perfect timing Paul Walker. So his gift is that he's like Domino, but he's just got perfect timing. That's it. So anything he attempts to do, if he throws something, if he jumps, if he runs, if he, drives, it will be perfectly timed and it will work. It just will work. And so, whenever something is well timed around our house, we're like, "Hey, perfect timing, Paul Walker. God rest him.
Yeah.
God rest him." I will cry if I think about it for 2 seconds. So we need to move on very
All right,
quickly.
we'll
But
move on because yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up at at his movie ending.
oh,
I was like,
me
but
too.
but different conversation. Catch us on our weekly episode. Maybe you'll see us cry about it.
Yeah.
But um,
So we said,
so
what if there's a guy who had perfect timing? How can we actually make that like an actual power system,
right.
basically? So
So we grew from we started there. We laughed about it for a long time. Then
yes,
we grew from there, and then we just came up with like the quickest, dumbest story, and we're like, we'll write that. So I won't tell you guys the whole story because I don't want to like. We're still developing it, and we've also kind of moved a little bit on from that with it still involved,
yeah,
kind of. So, and I don't know if we're gonna go back and use that. So I don't want to give that away either. But I will say we basically have a character that and you're welcome to try and take this name. It's super dumb, but we love it. Called Mr. Perfect Man.
yeah,
And that's perfect timing Paul Walker's spiritual successor that has now turned into somebody completely different,
totally different.
also who has perfect timing and a multitude of other powers in all
Yes,
his movies. So um but this part came from Sam. Like I love this idea. It's grown. And yesterday, Sam was like, this might sound dumb, but what if? And all I could do is slowly clap for him. So I'm gonna let you present it if you
Oh,
want.
I'll present it. Okay. We need to get good at pitching things too. So we're going to pretend like this is an agent. I'm not going to do that. It's too much pressure.
It's just before the zero
We'll,
draft, we're
we'll learn
pitching.
how to do this and we'll show you how to do it and you'll watch us grow, right?
Yeah.
Um, and by the way, we got what, 10 more minutes? Something like that.
Yeah,
We're
about
going to
10
keep these
more.
short. We're
Yep.
going to keep it short for you guys. So, basically my thought was, what if I'm trying to build a magic system. I'm trying to build a. I always want the setting to work for me. I want the setting to just make the scenes come alive for me. I'd never want to be in a situation where the setting is dragging and it's not helping me at all. So I said, what if we're in a futuristic world where it's because our initial idea was that like 80% of people have superpowers and Mr. Perfect Man doesn't essentially. He's one of the 20%. And he's basically a muggle in this like super powered world and like no one likes him and he's just this sad protagonist that like is working some awful job and is super depressed and I just wanted to write that. I don't know why. So it's relatable, everyone, right? Like I don't think the world's doing so well right now, so it's very relatable. But basically I was like, okay, what if it's set 100 years in the future? And this is where I was like, Mark, you got to tell me if I'm stupid or not, but what if everyone's powers are like what if this society in the future has become overwhelmed with long or has become infatuated with longevity, and so in this futuristic world, where everything's just kind of crappy and broken down, they're all just infatuated with Tom Cruise, right? So like in this world he lives to like 123 and he looks amazing until he's like 85, and then his body gets cryogenically frozen and then it gets lost. So now he's like, immortalized basically. And so basically they have all this genetic ability to manipulate genetics and all the scientific advancements. And they're so infatuated with Tom Cruise that they're building all of the abilities and all of the little boosts that you can get as a human based on his movies. So like there's one called Endless Sprint. I mean, we can spoil that, right? There's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
called
that's fine.
and it just means you can just sprint all out. You will not get tired, and that's
It's like
one of
Tom
the,
Cruise in every movie.
because they're infatuated with the movie. So it's like
Yeah.
that's one of them. And so we're gonna think about 4 or 5 of them. And basically, if you have money in this futuristic society, you're getting one or two of these. And then as we've been building the magic system, we can get more and more into it, but there's got to be penalties and stuff like that for like why most people don't have all of them. Um, Open on you want to talk about what we're thinking for your so you're going to write the antagonist. I'm going to write the protagonist.
Right, right.
I
So
just did it today and wrote like 1,500 words, just trying to spin on it, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
yeah, it's
Um,
pretty good. It's pretty funny.
so
It's
you want to talk about the opening scene,
yeah,
and then I'll talk
okay.
about the opening scene.
So the so we were talking about this yesterday, and we're just gonna tag back and forth. I'll be the
Yeah,
bad guy.
we'll tag back and forth on it.
Yeah.
We're actually making decisions right now.
This is actually this is our day
We
zero
need to talk about
conversation.
this.
Yeah. So we're thinking a Raiders of the Lost Ark beginning kind of
Mhm.
concept. We're playing around with it. And and the bad guy's like a scientist, like a smart guy, average guy, but in everything else, but super genius and maybe even kind of wealthy, like has money a little bit, but he comes into way more money by being this genius guy that gets some piece of Tom Cruise somehow. We're working out that detail. And
I think we're gonna find his cryogenically frozen body somewhere,
yeah,
like in
I don't
some kind
know,
of Arctic dungeon or something, and that would be this crazy opening scene, and your guy would actually find it.
be there to find it.
Be there.
We don't know if he's the guy, if he's the Indiana Jones character, or if he's in Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's like an assistant guy that's like, "Oh, this way, Indy, come with me. I'll help you out." And he
That
betrays
sometimes
him.
betrays him.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
so in this story, possibly instead of Indiana Jones, weighing the sand and taking the golden idol and running out, and the other guy steals it, and Indiana Jones gets out and finds the guy dead somewhere along the way, and you don't care who that guy is anymore.
yeah,
The guy betrays Indiana Jones. He gets away with the with the pieces of Tom Cruise, and then he uses that in the magic system that we're building to genetically modify himself to look almost exactly like Tom Cruise and have
yeah,
all of the powers that we're about to come up with kind of like
yes.
here. So he will
And
become super
yeah,
Tom Cruise.
I love that. I love it. And again, like so, Brandon Sanderson started Mistborn. So again, we're starting with these ideas. Some of them are insane and
Yeah.
stupid, but they're kind of great too. And I tell you, we can query the heck out of this idea.
Yeah.
But and I looked it up. You're allowed to do this, and we're not going to be mean to Mr. Cruz. By the way, our dream is to for this to go well, for them to
Hmm.
make a movie, and for Tom Cruise to play a de-aged version of him, of prime Tom Cruise, as the villain by the end of the movie. That is our dream,
That would be great. Yep.
and that's what we're just putting out there. We're just hoping this could happen. So
This is all thing that Tom Cruise is we enjoy your movies, Tom Cruise. So feel
we
free.
do. Tom Cruise, like this, and this is almost kind of like an homage to like
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
movies, because again, the society is infatuated with them.
Yeah.
So but like Brandon Sanderson with Mistborn starts with the basic concept of Harry Potter always, wins. But what if Voldemort just killed him? The end. And that's where that was one of his crucial ideas. The other was driving through mist and being like, this is cool. I'm going to incorporate this. Something that simple.
Yeah.
I love this idea of starting with the Indiana Jones like backup guy and then being the guy who steals the thing, but instead of him getting killed on like spikes or something, he actually gets away with it.
It's away. Yeah.
Yeah, and so maybe the whole thing collapses, and maybe like most of the DNA is lost, but like Indiana Jones has like I don't know, like a scrap of a sweater or something, and but
Yeah.
but this other guy gets like I don't know his arm or something. So, but so he has it all. And then again, so I really like that. I think leaning into it and being insane with that scene would be really cool. And but just to share, like one of the main powers is going to be the Minority Report power that
Precognition.
no one has quite like gotten it right yet in society. But this guy has, and the Minority Report power is basically like precognition, some type of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and
And
so Mr. Perfect Man would be. Is that what you were about to say?
no, no, no. Go. I was gonna say that
Yeah,
that the reason why the bad guy could get it is because he has the pure Tom Cruise DNA
correct.
to be able to synthesize the sound. We sound so smart. We sound so smart.
But it's genius,
It is.
it is.
It is. I love it.
Um,
But yeah. So Mr. Perfect Man goes
yeah.
to like
Okay, so in this world, if you don't have a lot of money, you're still probably infatuated with Tom Cruise. And you can go to like a doctor at like Walgreens, which still exists, and pay like, a month's worth of wages, and they'll give you a shot, but it's like a question box. Like it's probably mixed with some other celebrity's DNA. I have an idea on this, by the way. Just that's so it's like watered down, and it may not even be the real thing, and God knows what's even in it. And my guy gets one. The protagonist gets a shot. It seems to not work, but it turns out that he got the precognition. Only it's glitchy and messed up, and but that ends up being the best power ever, the Mr. Perfect Man power, which is if it starts a cycle, he can have infinite attempts to attempt a thing.
Yeah.
Whenever it goes right, it'll release him. The only catch is that he doesn't know he has it because he like blacks out or something stupid. He
Yeah,
blacks
yeah.
out. So he thinks he's a total loser, even though he has the best ability ever. And
And he
the
can't really
thought,
activate it when he wants to.
correct, yeah, he doesn't have control of it. The thought is that maybe he gets like there's like some Nicolas Cage like DNA in there from
Oh, from
remember Next?
yeah, I
Remember
was
that
gonna
movie?
say next where he was playing poker and there Nicholas, that was such an easy way for him to not be in that situation. But
Yeah.
I think, not to ruin the movie, but I think at the end he wasn't in the situation. That was all a next
I
that he
can't
was.
remember. Yeah, but it
Yeah,
was something like that. Something
yeah.
disappointing.
It was
Something
pretty
narratively
disappointing.
disappointing.
Yeah,
Cool concept though.
cool
We could
concept.
even make it to where like maybe Nicolas Cage always actually had that actual ability. Like and like that's actual lore in this world. And so it's actually his DNA that like kind
Yeah.
of uses and makes it kind of work. But that's all just stupid whatever. Who knows? We know it's the precognition thing that is
Mhm.
glitchy because it's the cheap bargain version of the shot. So that's where we're at.
You're
So
kind of
you're gonna
opening my
write the Raider
mind.
scene. I'm
Yeah.
gonna write the scene, and I've written the first scene. What's up, buddy? Get some paper. My son draws a lot, and he has to come in here for paper. So,
What up, buddy? How you doing, man?
bruh.
We, hey, man. We should definitely, we're gonna use his art for our writer's block banner at some point for a little bit
we
because
definitely we
My dad.
yeah we definitely will.
yeah, he's got cool art.
We're gonna shut soon. Okay.
Yep.
So any thoughts, real quick, before we close on a third scene? Because you've seen my opening scene.
Yeah.
He's a museum security guard, and it's like really, he hates his life. It's a futuristic Atlanta. Bye, buddy. And I chose Atlanta because it's my city and I know it, and
Hmm.
it roots it in a place. And these are little things that will help you sell your novel. If it's rooted in an actual place, it's more likely to sell in that market.
Yep.
Just read Lloyd McNeil's Last Ride, freaking great book if y'all want to look at it. Set in Atlanta, and I loved it. I'm from Atlanta, so like I got everything that he leaned into it, and I loved it.
You knew where he was physically every time.
Totally. Every time, I mean, I used to live down there, right in the middle of the city. But what are you thinking as far as the third scene, like where I could go so that when I'm writing tomorrow, I can take off and run with it. He just saw the bad guy, and he's
Yeah.
kind of freaking out because it looks like Tom Cruise, and something was stolen or something like that from the museum. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I think that it needs to I think it would be pretty interesting if something in that situation started his first glitch. Like something after that situation starts his first glitch. Like maybe whatever's stolen, someone's blaming him and he can't talk his way out of it or something like that
Hmm.
until he wakes up and they're like, "All right, see you later, John. See you later, Steve. Thanks for coming." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, I remember them being so mad at me. What happened?" Or,
Hmm.
like something small,
How did
lighten.
I get out of this? Yeah, yeah,
Right. I think like and that would be a fun scene to write because he's going to be so confused and the reader is going to be like, well, something happened. I don't know how much you'll show because that'll be for you to play around with. That'll be kind of fun. I don't know. It'd be fun to just skip over it straight from his POV or to do some of his POV and write it in a way that's like it's not the him that he remembers doing it. So it's not talking
yeah, yeah. So, and
different.
then the reader is still left in questioning, because so
Right.
if at some point we've got to go into glitch mode and
Yep.
him like realize what's happening and use it, which will be really cool.
Yep.
As a reader, you don't want to. I don't want to reveal that yet because the questions are going to be drawing, but you do want to create mystery. So that'd be kind of cool. And I'm gonna need your help on this, y'all.
Mhm.
Not everyone, but Mark. Because I like to go 100,000 words, and so this, I got 30,000, you got 30,000. We got to keep it neat. So that means
Yeah.
I need to move, pace it out a lot faster than I'm used to doing. So,
Yeah. I mean,
and that does it. It moves the plot forward
that
big time.
moves it. Yeah. I mean, look, we're into it in chapter 3 essentially.
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah,
We know what the bad guy did. They've kind of met,
yeah.
you know, um, in chapter 2.
Yeah, he had a mini glitch on the roof of the museum.
Hmm.
He had a mini glitch, and we can like maybe you could write that like what the heck was that?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. It's not actually Tom Cruise, but like he parachutes off the top of the museum, of course, in
Yeah.
classic Tom Cruise fashion, which is really cool. The kind that you steer.
Yeah,
He
of
does
course. Well, the
that.
one
So
he
like,
always does. Yeah.
but it could be like a little mini glitch right there to where like he's back on the roof and he has to jump again. And he's like, what the freak just happened? Because he has the time ability, he has remembrance of the
Of the
glitches.
glitch, right. He
So it
can't
could be
necessarily currently stop Tom or Steve or Mr. Perfect Man.
Steve. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
From doing anything or from glitching it. But I wonder if the reason why, because I definitely want to write that scene where they interact from Mr. Bad Guy's view. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering if maybe the glitch has to be something to do with, like, why did he glitch? So I'm thinking maybe he tried to grab him, Tom Cruise, Mr. Bad Guy, and he fell off the roof as Tom Cruise jumped off the roof.
Oh, but he doesn't remember any of that?
Well, because he glitches back.
But yeah. So honestly, like in the scene now, and I know you got to go. And I know our watchers need to go. All of our
we
watchers,
we can love all 12 of you, all 500 million of you. What's it? One kiss for
including
everybody.
you, Mr. Cruz. We
Yeah.
love you, man. MI2 actually changed my life. I love it, bro. Yeah. So, from his perspective, he just kind of he has like an adrenaline dump when
Yeah.
he sees him because he's like, that's freaking Tom Cruise with the Ghost Protocol helmet on,
Yeah.
like the Ghost Protocol hoodie on. And he's like, so maybe that triggered it, but he just didn't know because he does pass out.
Okay, then maybe that's as easy as him just looking at it and Tom Cruise can just jump off it. That guy, your Mr. Perfect Man freaks out, and this is the activation of it just because it's so shocking to see
Yeah, yeah,
Tom
yeah,
Cruise
yeah.
in the world. Doesn't have to be any kind of other thing than that. He could just be they meet each other's eyes, and then he glitches back. And instead, this time Mr. Bad Guy, standing on the roof again, being like, why am I going back in time? And he can
That
then
was really
looks
trippy.
right, and he can stare straight at Steve now in the eyes, like it's kind of what happened,
Yeah,
what you wrote happened now, where
yeah,
he then
yeah,
jumps and he sees him go away, and then Steve passes out because it's just too much for his system to take right now.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
just have to
He thinks
write,
he's a coward. Like he's lying and saying he got tased,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, he's
Except,
just fully lying.
yeah, he's like, yeah, yeah, I got tased.
I mean, pretty smart of him. The guy comes up and goes, "What'd you do with the guy when you caught him? Well, how come you're on the ground?" He can't just go like, "I don't know, I passed out or something." Like,
Yeah.
you know, you passed out. Your job is you have one
Here's
job.
your security guard.
This is the job. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but that's cool. But maybe when he goes down, he could, we could give the audience a little bit more of what's going on because that glitch can be both of their inciting incident. We if we're moving this fast, we got to think inciting incident ASAP,
Yeah.
you know?
Then
So
whatever Mr. Bad Guy takes, Steve needs to get back in his mind to keep his job.
yeah,
You know what I
something.
mean?
Yes, because so again, this makes it the inciting incident is what puts them on a collision course for the
Right.
entire book to happen. We're pantsing like
Great.
crazy panthers right now. Like, so we just got to figure out what that is, and maybe you'll have an epiphany while you write Lord of the Ring, not Lord, while you write the Raiders of the Lost Ark scene,
Yeah.
and I'll start messing around with like a next scene tomorrow where he's, getting grilled and he finds out what was stolen and blah da 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 da. And, I don't know, maybe he has another glitch or something like that. So we'll
Okay.
see where it goes from there.
We're pantsing.
Pantsing, we're trying. It's kind of hard. We're trying.
No, I love it. We're gonna make up so much crazy stuff, guys. Thanks for joining us on what are we gonna call this? Mr. Perfect Man series.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect Man series.
Yeah.
Love
Writer's
it.
Block
So good
episode.
at names.
We're so good at names. Episode one Mr. Perfect Man series. Keep up with us, guys.
Yeah, see ya.